All right, I see it's live. Pros, good to be back. Welcome to Pro Power Hour. This is something we do every Thursday at this time. This is a product training session that you can attend every week. Every week we go over a feature or product, go over a few things inside House Call Pro, demo, answer your questions, and kind of just go over all the benefits and reasons why you should use said products or features. We've been doing this thing for a while now, a couple years, so there's lots of past sessions you can go back and watch. If you are new here, I know we've been pushing this to a bunch of pros. I know Phil pushes this to a bunch of his pros and onboarding. We've been pushing this at some of the events we've been at. So if you're new here, you're in the right spot. You can get all of our past sessions and recordings in the Help Center, and I'll drop the link to that in a little bit. We'll also be posting all of our May topics. We've got those all sorted out. So you can kind of see what's coming down the pipeline and decide, which sessions you want to be at, or if you want to have any of your staff attend and watch. But yeah, we can get into it. Phil's one of our onboarding specialists, senior onboarding specialists. And Phil, I'll turn it over to you. We're going to talk about job scheduling, dispatching, and a few updates that have come to the platform recently.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome if this is your first time. Welcome back if you've been with us before. Yeah, we thought that as we've been keeping track of all the new features and updates that have been coming out, we have a lot that are coming out, especially since we're wrapping up spring and we're about to hit summer. We understand that it's a busy time for a lot of you all. So just kind of want to take a step back from, the usual stuff that we go through and just kind of show you some of the new stuff that's coming. We'll be honest, maybe not everybody may have access to some of the features that we have yet, but their release dates are within the next month or two, so everyone should have it. So just kind of giving you a little taste of what's going to be coming down the pipeline, as Chris said. Today we're going to look at we've been working on our route optimization and our route scheduling. I know we've gotten a lot of feedback about that over the years. So we don't have today the route optimization. I just don't have access to that yet, but I know that that's coming. But I do have access to one of the things we're going to talk about is the route scheduling. Today we're going to do it a little bit. We're doing it a little different. We don't really have a slide deck because again, these features are still very new. But I do have a little presentation here by one of our product managers who's actually going to kind of run through a demo because he can kind of explain it a little bit more than I can because he's had more experience with it. But after it, I'll pull up my account and we'll basically go through it together. There's a couple of other things that we have here is we're going to talk about the new notifications page. I'm going to get into that if you haven't seen it yet. It's pretty it's a great improvement because now we can have all of our notifications on one page, and all we have to do is flip a switch for what notifications are going out. And so it's a big improvement because in the past we've always had to go to different sections of the platform to go ahead and turn these automations and text messages and emails off. So enough of me talking. I'm going to go ahead and play our little video here so we can watch it together. And as I said, after it, we'll go ahead and we'll start putting something of this together. Chris, can you hear that?
No, I think you got to share sound.
Okay, yeah, let me do that. Um, ooh. Um, okay. Oh, there we go.
Hey everyone, I'm Sam, a product marketing manager at House Call Pro, and today I want to introduce a new way of scheduling in the platform. So if you've been with House Call for a while, you may be familiar that we schedule jobs based on employee. So if there's an employee available, we'll schedule a job to them. This approach works if you are a smaller company and only have a few jobs a week to manage. But scheduling by employee may not be the most efficient approach if you are a growing business. So let's say you have an employee that was scheduled to do 5 jobs that day, but now they can't because they're sick. With employee-based scheduling, you would need to go to each job and reschedule each job one by one. It's kind of tedious and definitely adds a few more minutes into your workday. But with route-based scheduling, you'll be able to reschedule those jobs within a few clicks. So enough about the why. Let's talk about how to set up route-based scheduling in your House Call Pro account. So from any page, you're going to go to your settings. And on the left-hand side, you are going to your schedule. Here, you'll see the toggle to turn on schedule by routes. So then instead of scheduling to employees, you're going to schedule to a specific route. And you can build out your route templates here in the settings page. So then the question is, what is a route? Well, a route is simply a series of jobs that you want to run for that day. And it's common practice for businesses to create routes based on different patterns. So for one business, it can be by geography. Another, it could be by service type. Or another, it could be by recurring customer. It really depends on what needs your business has. So in my case, I already had set up some route templates and I set up my routes based on geography. So I said, for any customer whose address is between 1st to 14th Street, this is going to be my route. And then I have another route for any jobs where the customer lives on 15th to 34th, 35th to 59th, as well as Upper West Side or Upper East Side. I wonder if you can tell which city I'm talking about. So after these routes are set up, you can go into the edit route and you can change the color, change the name, as well as edit any default assigned team or assignee. So if you're a business that likes to manage crews, you can automatically assign certain team members to a specific route. So now by going to my schedule, I can show you what that looks like. Now your calendar is not going to be by employee anymore. It's going to be by route. So you can see that a lot of jobs are in this first route from 1st to 14th Street. And I have 2 employees assigned to this route. Going back to my example of an employee calling out sick, if I were on employee-based scheduling, I would need to reschedule one by one. But with route-based scheduling, all I need to do is click on this route and change the assignee from here. So if Cloud calls out sick, I can simply unassign this route to him and assign it to Annie instead. And I can save. And I just did a bulk reschedule in a matter of seconds. So that definitely helps you save time. Now, if you set up your color coding by area, you should be able to see if your route was set up efficiently. So right now I see that this Jordan Michaels is actually not in the area, not in the same area as other jobs in its route. So I can just reschedule Jordan's job to the correct route and make my routes more efficient. And this is specifically if you were to assign route by area. But the bottom line here is route-based scheduling is a new way to schedule within House Call. It's a bit of a paradigm shift and may take some getting used to, but once you understand how it works, this is really great for managing a large volume of work. And what's great about these routes is once you set it, these routes can just repeat endlessly. So this is already available in your account. Please give it a try. And if you have any feedback, positive or constructive, please email me at sam.lui, L-U-I, at housecallpro.com, or you can directly email our product manager, Sarah Connors, at sarah.connors@housecallpro.com.
All right. So yeah, just wanted to kind of show that. Now we're going to go and put this together. As you can see, pretty exciting stuff here. And wanted to show, I pulled that from the Help Center. So if you are familiar with our Help Center, you can certainly find that recording and watch it at another time. So I've gone ahead and pulled up my account here. And we're just going to kind of go through everything that Sam was talking about. So first thing for us is we want to go ahead. I do already have it turned on, but just going to show is up here in our settings. Don't have my little marker, so give me a second here. All right, there we go. So I went up to my settings and then we went on over to go and find schedule. And right there, right now, it's really just the one switch for the routes. And so I went ahead and turned it on. And I've gone ahead and started setting up some routes. I just have the one as I was playing around with this before, and I set up the Point Loma. I'm down here in San Diego. So maybe to his point, I'm going to go ahead and create another route. Let's maybe do this by geography. So I have Point Loma. Maybe I'm going to say gas lamp. Um, and uh, Bankers Hill, and we'll do one more. East Village. Oop. All right, so there's my four routes in the San Diego area, and as we can see, I've already put two employees on one particular location. So maybe for gas lamp, I'm going to go ahead and maybe two on that one because Luke's kind of in this area, and maybe in Baker's Hill, we could say that me and Tyrion will go out on there, and anything in the East Village is just going to be Tyrion. All right, so now we've gone ahead, we've created our routes, and we've created which employees are typically going to be assigned for those routes. So to see this and start using it in action, as we'll come on over to our schedule. And right up here, this is where we can change our different views of the schedule, and there's where we can change our colors. So most of the time that I'm looking at this. Oh, it's because we're in the disp we already have the routes turned on. To get back to the employee view, you do need to go back to the schedule settings and turn off the routes. But wanted to show here is so now we have our Point Loma route here. We have our gas lamp, our Baker's Hill, and our East Village. So as we start assigning jobs, we can understand where they are. So maybe this job is going to go over to gas lamp. This one will go over to Baker's Hill. Actually, yeah, that's right. Now it's matching the colors, and we'll send this one over to the East Village. We'll just throw a couple more on there just for good measure. Oh, and these ones are unrouted. So very similar to our unassigned section, unassigned column on our normal schedule. We have our unassigned routes. So that way, just like with the unassigned, we can go ahead and put in a time slot for a specific customer, and then we can book them out accordingly. So we'll put a couple more over here, maybe one over here. All right. So as he mentioned, that was the way of how we can do it with our area. And I know that I know all these jobs are going to be really scattered throughout the throughout the area. But if we do go and look at our area section, as he was saying, notice it's starting to point out that these addresses are coordinating all in the same area. So I can go ahead and put those together because they look like they're all in that gas lamp area. And then we have our employee and our route colors. And if we want to go ahead and look at the map, which is what everybody is looking for, we can see there that it starts to lay out the route right there for that particular area. You have the option to turn that routing on or turning it off. As of right now, I think we may have mentioned this before, but this is just showing the route of all of the jobs for that particular day. And as I said at the top of our presentation or our session here is that route optimization is coming soon, so that eventually it will optimize this route and find the best route for you. But really, that's kind of what routes is and how we're getting to where we're going to get to route optimization. The next thing I wanted to show everybody is we made another big improvement to the schedule. And if we come off of routes, it's actually these bulk settings that are going to be in your schedule. So I'm going to turn this off for now. If we go back to our schedule here, everybody should have it. It's going to be up here, and let me get a better color, the bulk actions button right here. And what this is going to do is similar to what Sam was saying, is being able to manage different appointments for employees or multiple different days, all in one or a couple of clicks. So if we come up to our bulk actions, notice it now puts a checkbox against all of my jobs here. So when I go ahead and click on them, say, in his example, Luke calls out sick. So I can go ahead and get all the jobs that were assigned to Luke. And notice it says edit assignees over here in the upper right, and it also says reschedule. So if I hit edit assignees, it's going to allow me to go ahead and add an assignment. So if I want to go ahead and make sure that Obi-Wan's on that one, we can make sure of that. We can remove an assignment. So we can remove Luke because he's calling out sick. Or we have the option to replace the assignment. So if we want to just make a quick switch and take Luke off, maybe, he's needs an hour or two or he's stuck on a job. And so we can go ahead and replace him with somebody else. And there it goes. We can go ahead and review our changes just to be sure. And we'll go ahead and hit save. And notice now everything has just been rescheduled over to Obi-Wan. A couple of other bulk actions as we saw there as well. If we hit bulk actions again, I'm going to select maybe a couple of these here that were on Obi-Wan's list. We can go ahead and hit reschedule. That's the other option. And so it says, do we want to move all of these to tomorrow or do we want to move them to a specific date? And do we want to be able to notify all these customers of the change? So another great way of being able to manipulate a bunch of different jobs and estimates and have it all done within a couple of clicks instead of having to go one by one like we are all accustomed to. So then the last thing to show in terms of some of the updates that have come out is there is also that notification section that I was talking about, which is going to be in your settings. And at the top, there's going to be notifications. As you can see, now we've gone ahead and as I mentioned earlier, we've put all the notifications in one spot so that we can handle them all without having to go to different parts of the platform. So with our jobs here, we're all familiar with the job scheduled text, but we can always turn that off instead of how we used to do it, having to go to the text message center and turn them off there. And you also do have the ability to customize that text message from this screen. A couple of other things. I'm sure everyone's familiar with the job is scheduled, the on my way text message, job's finished, the job reminder. So that is a fairly new feature. I know it's been around for a while now, but still fairly new. Still have that job reminder. We can have the text message and make adjustments to that. Same thing when a job is canceled. For the estimates, we have the same ones with our typical automations of scheduled, on my way, finish, sent, and canceled. And then for our invoices, we can notify the customer when a invoice has been sent, a reminder when it's due, let them know when there's a refund, and also when they are receiving a receipt. So again, it's a great place for everything that's in one location. I forgot to mention that these notifications are specific towards the customer, so from house call to the customer. Um, but that's really the kind of the three things we had prepared. Any questions? I did see a couple pop up, so let's see what you got. Um, If I turn it on to, this is from Sherry. If I turn it on to mess around with it, will it mess up my existing calendar? As you saw, it shouldn't. It's really just, it's gonna be, everything should still be in the same location and should still be assigned. It's just from there. like as you start to play with it, it might you'll have to kind of get used to it, I guess, in a sense. So to your point, as I was saying, is we have our schedule here and everything's assigned here for April 24th here. And even if we look at the week, we've got a lot of jobs here, but if I go ahead and switch it over to routes, we still have the 24th. Everything is unrouted, but still assigned. And as you can see, we can see that it's still assigned to specific people. It's really just another way of looking at your calendar. Um, Ryan, I don't see a schedule under my settings tab. Um, if that's the case, I mean, we can certainly, it could be a couple of things. Ryan, are you using Chrome? Let me start there. Okay. So I was gonna say is if you're not seeing it, really there would only be okay, yes, Chrome. Okay. Then I too do not have the schedule section. Same. Okay. So since a couple of you don't have it, I would say we would probably have to look into this for you. Maybe it's just not available. I know he did say that it should be available to everyone. Maybe it just hasn't hit your account yet. We can certainly take down your information and certainly look into it.
Yeah, it could be just hasn't rolled out to you guys yet.
Yeah. Um, okay. Next question from Christina. Routes are based off of matchmaking cities, and we have the ability to add the colors, or is that automated? You can add the colors. It's really, as you saw when we did our little, when we put mine together, it's not really like tied to a map. You can go ahead and customize it. So even as Sam was saying, when we are setting these up, you could do it by geography, or as some people will do it, is they may create a route that is just specifically installs, another one that's specifically service. So you don't need to use it for geography, but you certainly can. And just to emphasize it is that you can change the colors of that particular route. Cool. Um, we didn't have any come through that were prepared. Chris, any questions you see from Facebook?
It's just checking. Let me check again. No, don't see any questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
It looks like Christina doesn't have the schedule tab either. Okay. Yeah,
oh,
it's
okay.
probably just taking a second to roll out.
Yeah. Um, there's some other things that I'll surface. I don't think we're gonna really be able to show, but a couple of other updates. We've got, if you use our postcards at all, we've got a larger postcard size that's becoming available. I think this is rolled out to everybody. It might not be yet, but it's a larger 6x9 postcard. It's a little bit easier to notice in the mailbox. It's got a little bit more space to help your customers just remember your business and call you when they need service. So hopefully you'll get a better ROI if you use postcards and you upgrade to that size. We're going to do a pipeline session soon, but we've got some new custom automations in pipelines. You can create and save custom automations to match, just how your business really runs. You can automatically update lead, job, or estimate statuses, and optionally, send emails or texts, SMSs. Um, so that I think is that rolled out to everybody now? I think it is.
Which one?
The new pipeline automations, custom ones.
Oh yeah. Let me double check on mine. I just checked like I have the new postcards. Um, so I'm sure when we because today we saw we got a whole new marketing center kind of like coming out. So I think we'll bring that up when we get there.
Definitely.
Um, for the pipeline automations, I think I was working with a pro yesterday and we were able to do it. Uh, Yes. Yeah, we do. I have it, so we can certainly do it for when we do our pipeline.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll do a pipeline session, I think in June maybe. Um, and then one other thing I wanted to call out as well, if you're on voice, there is an ability now to purchase additional phone numbers without you having to upgrade to a higher voice tier. So if anybody's interested, I won't go over all the details in that, but if anybody wants more info, I can get that to you. Um, yeah, I think that's most of the updates. I wasn't in the we have like an internal meeting that we do once a month. I wasn't in that meeting today, so I don't know what else is coming, Phil, but
Yeah, it's I know it's a lot of like small updates, but they're all very helpful. And then as I saw today, like we've got a lot coming that's really going over helping CSR AI since that's kind of our big product this year. But one of the things I did see and some pros, I've already seen it on some of my pros accounts is like the new estimates feature. I know it's in beta, so everyone should have the ability to like. I think when you create an estimate, there should be in your upper right hand corner a button that says try the beta version. So I do believe everybody should be able to try that out.
awesome.
But it's going to be, from what I recall, it's very similar to what a job looks like. There will be like a summary of work for the estimate. Um, and just kind of like a better view of it.
Sweet. Christina, if you maybe, it's a good question for getting your contact info. If you all want to use, excuse me, give us the email that you use um, to log in and out of your House Call Pro account, that would probably be the most useful thing. We can find you guys all that way. Just make sure it's the email that's associated with your sign in. So your user email and password. So that email is what we're looking for. If you guys want to drop it in the chat, you can send it to me directly if you don't want to drop it in the chat publicly. Jerry, I would like to see the information on the phone numbers for smaller plans. Yeah, yeah. Um, Jerry, I'll DM you on Facebook with some of that info. Awesome. Any other questions? Do we have a little bit of extra time we can answer for anybody? I don't want to go too in depth, but if you've got a
Yeah.
quick question that we can answer for you on the platform, let us know.
Little impromptu support call here.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't go too detailed, but if you've got a general product question, hey, how do I do X? I can give you the Y. Um, yeah, Christina, the Facebook group is a great place to get peer support. We do have a couple technical support reps that work in there as well. Try to recommend going to the blue chat bubble. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but it does get you faster support than Facebook usually does. Um, but if you think another pro can help you or answer your question, I just recommend I just drop the link. Anybody can join the Facebook group and you can post in there. I'll also get the help article right now to all of our past power hours in case anybody's new here, looking for those recordings, those to you. Um, Previewing the next few topics that we've got lined up heading into May. We're going to do an estimates deep dive next week. We've got Matt from our onboarding special, one of our onboarding specialists is joining us. So we'll kind of go over estimates as a whole. We'll have some prepared questions from Facebook. And if you have any questions, bring those. We'll just kind of go through the whole flow. In 2 weeks, we'll talk a little bit about multi-day scheduling, segments, progress invoicing. I was talking to a pro in LA last week at our meetup, and he was asking which one he should use. I've seen this come up a few times in the Facebook group recently. So we'll talk about all of those best practices. And then we had this AI week, but in mid-May, May 21st, we'll go over all of the AI features inside House Call Pro. You've got to write it for me. You've got all the agents. Um, I'm really excited. We've got some really cool stuff coming soon. I don't think we can really share any of it yet, but I saw a demo of some of it at our event last week. Um, Basically be like having a House Call Pro version of ChatGPT inside the platform. It'll be really neat. And then hopefully at the end of the month, we're going to be having some special guests. We're going to talk about Google business profiles and just how you can best maximize, connect with House Call Pro. Um, so we're working on fleshing that out as well. So we'll post that in the help article, but if any of those sound like something you could use help with, hopefully you'll return in a few weeks. But yeah, I'm not seeing any other questions. I know it was a little bit shorter today, but we wanted to just surface some of those new updates and instead of redoing some stuff we've already done recently. So I think that's gonna do it. Hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow for AI office hours, or we'll catch you next week. Phil, we'll see you back in I think 3 weeks from now. So enjoy your time away, and we'll see everybody soon.
All right, take care.
Thanks, y'all.